What's up, guys? So today we're actually going to be learning how to navigate through our terminal today. We're going to learn some basic terminal commands, and by the end of this video, you're going to know everything you need, at least the basics anyways, how to navigate your terminal, how to add stuff to your terminal, and let's get started. So what I want you to do is I want you to hit the command space bar, okay? When you hit command space, the spotlight search should pop up. All I want you to do is I want you to type in terminal and press enter. At this point, your terminal should open, okay? I'm just gonna come down here and open a brand new window because I have other terminals open. But once you press enter, you should get your terminal screen, and this is your starting point, okay? This terminal, you should be able to navigate through your entire computer with this terminal, and you'll be able to do that by the end of this video as well. Okay, but a few things you should know about this terminal is that you can edit this to appear however you want it to look. Okay, so if you want to change the color, you can change the color. If you want to change the font size, you can change the font size. Whatever you need to do for you to feel comfortable with this thing, let's go ahead and get this done before we continue. And so one thing you can do to do that is if you come up here to the terminal, all right, you come down to click on preferences. Where's preferences at? We're going to click on settings, and you can change the colors right here. You can select whichever one that you want as far as default. You can change the font size right here. Font size is font size 11. You can click change. You can make it bigger. 24. All right. You can do all kinds of editing that you need to do. Okay, but make sure you get that done. That way you can feel comfortable. Okay, so a few things that we need to know about our terminal, okay? A terminal provides a command line interface. Okay, in other words, a CLI. You'll see that a lot, the term CLI. The terminal provides a command line interface, and this operates your computer, okay? So with it, you can give your computer direct instructions, and it's probably the most powerful piece of software you actually have on your computer. So think of it as like a central hub, you know, for your development process. So for now, what we're going to do is we're going to navigate through some files on our computer, and when the terminal launches, it will start your computer in the home directory. Okay, so no matter when you start it, your terminal is going to start at the home directory. And how do you know when you're at your home directory? It's whenever you see the tilde on your screen, okay? This right here, this tilde. This little squiggly line that's right next to the number 1 on your keyboard, that's called a tilde. Whenever you see this, this is how you know that you're at your home directory. So in terminal land, directories are folders, okay? So from this point forward, whenever you hear me use the word directory, just know that I'm just using a fancy word that just means folder. Okay, we just, as programmers, as developers, we just call them directories. All right. So the command line understands commands written in the bash scripting language. Okay, so the commands are abbreviated English words or acronyms. Okay, so for example, one of the first things that we'll learn is called PWD. All right. So if you type in PWD in your terminal, go ahead and type that in right now. Type in PWD, and I want you to press enter. Okay. PWD will print the current working directory. Okay. It shows you the path, and this is the path that it's showing me right now. Okay. It showed me. It gave me the return of users and Isaiah Johnson. All right, so this path shows you where you currently are located in the file system. So if you're ever navigating through your terminal and for whatever reason you get lost or you forget where you currently are, all you have to do is type in PWD, and your computer will tell you exactly where you are. Okay, so once again, PWD is short for print working directory. And just so we're clear, okay, even though I'm telling you what these acronyms mean, you do not have to memorize what the acronym actually is. Is it helpful? Sure. But don't try to kill yourself trying to memorize what the acronyms mean. Your main focus should be, what does this acronym do? Or what command do I need to put inside of my terminal in order for it to work properly? Okay? So the next command we're going to learn is ls. Okay? ls stands for list, and what it's going to do is list the contents in the current directory that you're in. Okay? Remember, directory is just a fancy word for folders. Okay? So we're in a folder right now called Isaiah Johnson, or wherever you're located. If your name is John Doe, or your username is League of Legends Master 46, then wherever you're currently located in your directory, that's where the ls is printing from. It's going to tell you exactly the list items inside of your directory. Okay, so like I said, ls stands for list the current contents of your current directory, and what you're going to see is the immediate child directories, okay, or files in the directory. So go ahead and press ls, type in ls, press enter. Okay, and you should see a big list of items inside of your directory. Okay, and how do you know what's a file and what's a directory? Well, as you can see on my screen, I don't have any names that have a dot and followed with some following text, which more than likely that means that these are directories. Okay, now what we're going to learn is how to navigate to another directory if that's where we want it to go. Okay, and so what we're going to learn is cd. What cd stands for is change directories. Okay, and this is going to allow us to navigate into other child directories that we choose to go to that's available to us. So let's say, for example, I have a directory called XYZ. Okay, literally a directory called XYZ. Okay, if XYZ is not available in here, which it's not, I cannot travel to XYZ directory because it's not available to me. Okay, keep in mind that this terminal, while you're navigating like you're navigating through a house. Okay, you can't go inside of one room and then teleport to another bedroom. You're gonna have to exit the room, go down the hallway, maybe turn some corners to get to the next room that you're trying to get to. Okay, so if XYZ is in a different directory, you're going to have to navigate through the proper directories in order to get there. Okay, you can't just jump from one place to another. You're not a teleporter. Can't do that. Okay, but let's say we wanted to go into the desktop directory. Okay, so you're going to type in cd. Like I said, this stands for change directory. cd space, and I want you to type in DES, capital D. Okay, if you type in lowercase d, you won't get there. Okay, capital D. Okay, for desktop. So right here, I'm going to highlight desktop. These directories are case sensitive. Okay, so if you type in a lowercase d, it won't take you anywhere because your computer is going to be like, well, I don't know what desktop lowercase d is because you don't have a folder named that. Okay, so that's why we're using capital D. It's case sensitive. So the reason we didn't type in desktop all the way is because your terminal, your computer, has a nice auto complete function. So all you really need to do is type in a couple letters of the directory or file name that you want to access and just hit tab, and it will auto complete your text. Okay, so once you get this typed out, what I want you to do is type enter, press enter. Okay, now what I want you to do, take this time, take 5 seconds. What I want you to do is I want you to list out the items in your desktop directory. Take 5 seconds right now. Great. I hope you took the time to give yourself a little challenge, and I hope you were able to complete this. But the proper way to list out your items from this point is just to type in ls. Okay, remember ls stands for list items. Press enter, and as you can see, I have a whole new list of items to choose from or navigate from. Okay, if you're able to do this, great. If not, not to worry. This was only your first time doing it, and you're gonna have plenty of practice in this video to get this knowledge down. Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to find out where you are in your terminal. Okay, take 5 seconds, see if you can complete this challenge, figure out where you are in this terminal. What command do you need to do? What command do you need to type in order to figure out where you are inside of this directory? Take 5 seconds right now and go ahead and do that. If you were able to do pwd and get your results, congratulations, you're that much closer to becoming a programmer and knowing how to properly navigate and operate your terminal. So as you can see, okay, our terminal, whenever we first did pwd, was users / whatever your username is. Okay, but now when we do it, it's user / whatever your username is / desktop. Okay, notice how we went from here and now we're in the next room over. Okay, and that's how you read this. All right, so to continue forward, let's say that you're like, oh man, I didn't want to go to my desktop directory. I actually wanted to go to my downloads directory. So how do you get back? Well, I want you to change directories. Okay, what I want you to do is take this time to challenge yourself. Okay, as a matter of fact, don't challenge yourself because you probably won't figure it out. Okay, but I'm gonna show you. Okay, it's almost the exact same way, but it's a little bit different. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to type in cd, and I want you to type in, cd space, and I want you to type in downloads. Okay, remember, you don't have to type in everything. All you have to type in is a few letters of the directory you want to go to, and then hit space. Hit the tab button. Okay, if you notice, especially if you're on a Mac, you're probably hearing like a popping sound. No, and that's because your computer is telling you, well, I don't know what to autocomplete here because there's nothing there. I can't find anything. That's what that's telling you. Okay, well, let's say you're like, okay, well, maybe I should just type it all out altogether. Go ahead and type in cd downloads. Okay, press enter, and you'll get this message saying cd no such file or directory downloads. So your computer is telling you, hey, I know you want to go to this directory, but I don't know what that is because that directory doesn't exist. So this is a perfect example of what I mean. You cannot teleport from one directory to another. You have to, just like I gave the analogy of walking through a house, if you're inside of one bedroom and you're trying to get to another room, you need to exit the bedroom that you're in, go down the hallway, maybe turn some corners, do whatever you need to do in order to get, to the other room that you want to get to. So what I want you to do is I want you to type in cd space ... Okay, press enter, and I want you to type in pwd. Let's see where we are. Okay, so as you can see, we're back at where we started. Okay, username / whatever your username is. you know, just like how we were in the at the very beginning. And I want you to type in ls, okay? As you can see, we are now being listed the items of where we are or what is inside of this directory. And as you can see, we went back one. Okay. So if we decided to do CD, you know, and try to go into our downloads, type in down, it auto completes, and boom. Let's go ahead and list out our items. And we have a whole bunch of items that, you know, whatever is inside of your downloads. What I want you to do at this point is I want you to go ahead and type in clear. Okay, I'm gonna teach you something a little bit, you know, sooner than what I was originally going to, but that's okay. Type in clear. What clear does is just clears the terminal, because sometimes it gets a little messy, right? It gets a little messy. Clear does not take you back to the home directory. How do we know when we're at the home directory? It's because of the tilde. Okay, there's no tilde here. But let's say you forget that. Okay, take 5 seconds, challenge yourself. What command do we use in order to figure out where we are in the directory? If you said pwd, you are correct. Okay, pwd. Now what I want you to do is take 10 seconds, really challenge yourself. Okay, see if you can do this. I want you to get out of this downloads directory. I want you to navigate back to the desktop directory. And then I want you to list out the items that are there. Take 10 seconds, pause the video. If you need more than 10 seconds, that's perfectly fine. Okay, do this at your own pace that makes sense for you. Pause the video, take a couple seconds, and see if you can get this done. I really hope that you challenge yourself to see if you can do this. Go ahead. All right. Now, I really hope that you took the time to do this, because this is the only thing that's going to make you a better programmer and a better web developer, whatever title or position that you're trying to challenge yourself to get to or reach. This is the first steps of getting to that, because this is your foundation, and there is no way you can be a programmer. There's no way you can be a web developer. There's no way you're going to be building this stuff from scratch if you do not have a good foundation. And this is the first foundation that every developer has to know. Okay, so let's get out of here. CD ... Okay, that's to exit the directory. We're gonna do CD desktop to go into the directory. Then we're gonna list out the items, ls. Okay, so just to recap, CD ... means to back. CD name is to go in, and then of course ls is to make the directory. All right, so what we're gonna do at this point is that we're gonna make a directory. Okay, making a directory is the same as right clicking on your computer, clicking new folder, and let's give it rename. Let's call this rename. Let's call it XYZ. Okay, XYZ. All right, that what you just did right here, right clicking, new folder, naming it. What you just did right here is creating a directory. Okay, but whenever you need to make directories, and then you need to go inside of the directory and then create all these folders and other files, you know, depending on how many you need to do, sometimes this isn't the most time efficient way of doing things. Okay, which is why we need to learn how we can do it inside of a terminal, because the only thing that makes a good programmer different than a not so good programmer is the time it takes to do certain things. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I want you to type in mkdir, dir, mkdir. Okay, make dir. And you want to guess what that stands for? It stands for make directory. Okay, so we're going to type in make dir, and then space, and then whatever you type in after this is the name of the folder that you're going to create. It's going to be the name of the directory you're going to create. You can put anything here. You can put XYZ, you can put blah, blah, blah. You can put anything. Like I said, it's the name, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to name this terminal tutorial. All right. Do not put spaces. Okay. Don't put spaces. You're going to confuse yourself. You're going to mess up. You're going to do some errors. If you need a space, do an underscore. Okay. Mkdir terminal tutorial and hit enter. As you can see, terminal tutorial was just created. All right. Now what we're going to do, take 5 seconds, go into that terminal tutorial folder. Okay, that directory you just created, go into that terminal tutorial. All right, so I hope that, entering terminals is getting a little bit easier now that you're doing it, more often. Okay, and if you hit LS, enter, you should not get a return. If you do LS and you don't get a return, that's because your computer's telling you, hey, there's nothing in here. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a file. Okay. We're going to create a file. We're going to do touch. Okay. Touch. And I want you to do file.txt. Okay. Think of touch as in like you're a creator, okay? You're pretty much playing God with your computer. You're creating stuff, you're deleting stuff, you're destroying stuff, you're changing things. You're pretty much God when it comes to computers. So think of touch. That's how I remembered it. Touch is just I'm creating, whatever it is that I'm creating, or I'm changing whatever it is I'm changing. I hope that doesn't confuse you. Touch is only for creation. It's not for changing. All right. So once you do touch file.txt, okay. And keep in mind, I should have told you this before, file, okay, the name, that could have been anything. Okay. Anything, XYZ, blah, 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 whatever. Okay. .txt, that just makes a text file. Okay. It's a text file. So if you list out your items, okay, ls, you should now see one item inside of your directory. If we open up the directory on our computer, you should see that there's one item inside of the directory now. Cool, right? Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to create another directory, okay? This directory, you can name it whatever, okay? I'm gonna name mine I'm going to name mine nested, okay, as in a nested directory. All right. I want you to go into this directory, okay, the nested directory, and I want you to take 5 seconds and I want you to create another text file, okay? You can name it nested.txt, okay? I probably shouldn't have told you that. That should have been part of the challenge. But there you go. Nested.txt. And I want you to create another file called nested2. All right. Take 5-10 seconds. Take this time to create those two files. All right. Now there's a couple ways you could have done this. All right. You could have done touch nested.txt. All right. And if you check in here, you will see that the nested directory is created. So if you go into nested, you have nested.txt. And you could have done it again. Touch nested2.txt. All right. Or you could have done it like this. You could have done it all in one line. All right, touch. I'm going to do nested3 txt space nested4.txt. As you can see, in one line of code, I created 2 files. All right. Now, whether you did one or the other, doesn't matter, just as long as it got done. All right. Now, what I want you to do at this time, take a few seconds, go back to the desktop directory. Okay. Go back to the desktop directory. Right now, where we're in is we are in the nested directory. All right. Challenge yourself. Take this opportunity to go back to the desktop directory and see if you can do this. All right. So to get back, okay, first I want to see where I'm at. Okay, I'm in the nested directory. cd ... I'm back. And if you notice, every time you do cd ... whatever's right here is the name of where you're at right now. So I'm in the terminal tutorial. cd ... Now it says desktop to desktop. So that more than likely means that I'm in the desktop directory. But just in case, I want to do pwd. And of course, this is my current location. All right. If this video has helped you, if you have learned a lot, definitely consider leaving me a like. Definitely consider subscribing. That way I can create more content to help you guys. I do plan on creating JavaScript tutorials and other programming languages tutorials in order to help you guys to get to where you guys want and need to be. Like I said, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you've learned lots, and I hope that you continue to practice and do the things that you need to do in order to become a better programmer. Thank you, and I hope you stay for the next one. Thank you, and I hope to see you on the next one.